Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hormuz Freedom Campaign for the AV-8B Harrier in DCS World, where we're now on to Mission 11, Scud Hunt. And unfortunately this one is another one of those missions that needs to have another pass due to AI changes. Now the setup of the mission is really quite familiar. We have identified a Scud convoy that is moving along a road, and we are being sent to intercept it, take out the Scuds before they can get into position. Slightly different area from before, but otherwise the setup is very, very similar. So let's jump in and see where this quite simple premise all starts to go wrong.
Uzi 1-1 to 1-2. All good for your jet?
Uzi 1-2, roger. Let's go hunt some trucks. 1-1, 1-2. The Russians went MCON since yesterday.
Yeah, that carrier has just the trial airplanes. The rest of the ships worry me. It will be tough to reach out and touch them if needed. Uzi, fence in. Uzi flight, check in.
2, all green looking keen.
Focus, Uzi. Request change of call sign to Jokers.
Uzi, focus. Denied.
Focus, Uzi. We have ground activity. Bullseye 57 for 40.
Uzi, focus. Identify.
Stand by. Focus.
So yeah, the normal interesting voice acting there gets through, and then we get close to the site. Do have a little trouble on the way with SAM sites, but just turn south and you avoid them nicely. This is my 4th attempt at this that we're watching here. This is my best result so far. So I already know where I'm looking for here, and the targets are going along a road just a little bit to the east of the waypoint 4, just on the other side of a hill. So they're quite easy to find. It's a very, very long convoy. So I start looking into that, and then just wait while we close to get a little bit closer. Now, I did have some issues with the laser mavericks here. Mostly I've found that my problem is they keep going back into standby. I don't know how to stop them doing that other than only warming them up a little bit ahead of time. So I think that might be the trick here. But either way, I decide that I am going to go in on the Scuds themselves, and so get one nicely lasered up, manage to get the Maverick lock. At the same time the game prompts me that I can call in the recon, so I do that, send in the recon as I fire.
Focus, Uzi. About 30 vehicles. AA, ZSU, Scud, trucks, APCs.
Uzi, focus. Nose is hot. Clear to engage. Priority for missiles.
Uzi, roger.
I then roll a little bit away, give myself some distance while maintaining the laser track since this is a moving target here, and sure enough the laser maverick does its thing, comes in, get a good shack with some damage on either side, and it's just a case of turning back in and re-engaging another Scud. So just adjust where the laser is pointing, get a new Scud lined up, head back in and fire off another rifle. Now I do go in for a few bombs. They aren't dropped particularly well, do drop one in CCRP mode, and then nose over and do a bit of a crazy dive while trying to drop the others in CCIP mode. Not really trying here because, as I said, this is my 4th attempt. I know exactly what happens on this mission, and so I'm just waiting for the call that we get where everything starts to go a bit pear-shaped.
Uzi, focus. Knock it off. Turn around. I have 3 groups of fighters taking off from all the bases around you.
2, on strike, 1 o'clock. 2, on strike, 1 o'clock.
Focus, 1-1, Bravo,
2, strike, 2 o'clock.
45 at 9.
Uzi, focus. I have fighters out of Lar, Lavon, and Linga, hot towards your position. Go bullseye and RTB. The cap is refueling. ETA 10 minutes.
Uzi,
Focus, Uzi tight.
focus, 1-1. Pop-up group, 313-460.
Uzi, focus. Infill, fish Springfield, Phantoms and Fulcrums. Drop from the tanker. Steer bullseye and intercept. Weapons free. Get the little guys home. Focus. Negative.
Enfield, Roger. 460 at 4,500. Cold.
Springfield, Roger. Let's go save some jarheads today.
Uzi, 1-1. Focus, 1-1. Bra, 224, 440 at 11,000. Cold.
Uzi flight. Get ready. Drop your ground ordnance. Egress waypoint 6.
Should have called in sick today.
Let's show the turkeys how it's done.
Flight, jettison weapons.
And the rest of the mission is where it just gets bananas, since spawning all around the player at this point is a 4-ship of Fulcrums, a 4-ship of F4s, and a 4-ship of MiG-21s, all heading towards the player's location from various positions and various distances. Now, following the game's direct instructions is pretty much the worst thing you can do. Heading to the bullseye point, or waypoint 6, they're at the same position, heads straight towards the F4s. And we are armed, but we are each armed with 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders. They are enough to get a front aspect lock, so they can take on a decent number of F4s. But the F4s also get Fox 1s, and so going head-on isn't a great idea. And you really can't count on your wingman for much. He has never managed to get a missile off during any of the engagements that I've tried. He just gets shot down, and even if you get lucky and manage to get both Sidewinders to hit, you're still massively outnumbered. Running away isn't an option, since every one of those planes can chase down a Harrier, no sweat. Now, on this particular try, what I try to do instead is make a break for the sea and then turn direct for Siri Island, hoping to get there before anything else can get me. But as we'll see, that doesn't work out too well either, since the F4s and MiG-21s are more than capable of chasing you down. Now, the mission does say they're supposed to be cap flights, and there is a set of F-14s out, and I think a pair of F-18s out. Those on their own on a good day might be able to take on everything the enemy is sending at you, but even then it's a bit of a coin flip that you're leaving down to the AI being able to clear all of those enemies, including a 4-ship of Fulcrums, which is really capable of doing a lot of damage. And you're hoping that these AI are going to be capable of taking on the enemy AI, which is just not something you want to bet on. And with all of my trials here, the AI hasn't actually managed to get a single splash on any of the enemies. And on top of that, the AI seems to prioritize the wrong set of enemies. For some reason, the cap flight is refueling at the time that this call goes out, so they are well away. They're not actually providing cap. They are just somewhere out at sea. And when they do engage, every time I've always got their engagement callouts, engaging enemy targets about 40 to 50 nautical miles west of the bullseye. I am operating east of the bullseye, so at best they've been engaging things about 80 miles away from my position, not the ones that are on top of me, and even in one of the runs where I managed to hold out for a very long time, the AI simply ran out of ammo engaging Fulcrums, and so couldn't help me against the multiple F4s and 21s that just rushed me. As I said, this run I'm seeing here was my most successful run in that I almost made it to Siri Island, going flat out pretty much straight there, but even so I end up being chased down by the fish beds who are just too fast. I do spot the fish bed as it does eventually get called out with the in-game AWACS, and I do try and turn evasive, but it's all a little too late. The other enemy is in ideal position, has a lot of energy having just dived from 8,000 feet, and I get splashed. And during that whole time, my AA flight didn't get a single kill. The cap was nowhere to be seen. It did fire some missiles, they all got evaded. They mostly seemed to tangle with the fulcrums, but not the ones that are closer. So as it stands, I see no way for this mission to be completable. 2 Harriers armed with 4 Sidewinders between them really just can't take on a 4-ship of F4s and a 4-ship of 21s with fulcrums on their way. So yeah, another one that I think the developer needs to go back and have a look at. He has been in contact with me, he has been having a look at some of the previous missions, so hopefully this one is going to get another pass, try and work out why the cap flight is so very far away. Yeah, unfortunately that is where we're stopping for this week. We'll continue the campaign, we're near the end of it. Just have to keep fingers crossed that not all of the future missions are so reliant on the AI, because it's all of these missions that are reliant on AI that break so very easily. Anyway, I hope to catch you for that one. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.